Indianapolis, Tyler Beatlescombe has a view of the Gainbridge Fieldhouse parking structure from his office. He and the rest of the Pacers Sports and Entertainment, PSNE, staff park their vehicles on the 5th floor, but fans are allowed to park there on Pacers and Fever game days. Last year, he started to notice the 5th floor would begin to fill up 5 hours ahead of Fever games, with fans hoping to catch a glimpse of rookie Caitlin Clark. That was never the case before, even for big Pacers games. Like the NBA Conference Finals coming up, you're not going to see the top of that garage full 5 hours before a game. Beatlescombe, PSNE's SVP of Marketing and Content, tells Front Office Sports, the mass of early arriving fans led PSNE to change its arena's open-door policy from an hour to 90 minutes before tip-off. We needed more time just to let them all through, and because our team's store is packed, Beatlescombe says. Clark's first season changed the entire WNBA as the league set viewership, attendance, and merchandise records. But the Fever were at the center of it all, and in many ways have surpassed even their much older co-tenants in terms of popularity. The Pacers' audience has become much larger this season, but even still, not even close to similar levels as the Fever. Scott Agnes, a Fever and Pacers beat reporter for Fieldhouse Files, tells FOS, this weekend, Indianapolis is the center of the basketball universe. The Pacers, of course, host the Knicks in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals as they seek their second-ever Finals appearance and first title. But the Fever, hosting the defending champion Liberty in a regular season game, are just as much a part of the conversation. The Fever averaged 17,036 fans in 20 games last year, slightly higher than the 16,718 for the Pacers during the 2024-25 regular season. According to TickPick, the average purchase price for Fever tickets ahead of the 2025 season was $149, up from $79 last year. That's more expensive than the average purchase price of both the Pacers' regular season games, $72, and first 2 playoff rounds, $131. National TV ratings are comparable. The Pacers averaged 1.08 million viewers across 9 regular season games on ESPN and TNT this year, a number the Fever passed for 18 regular season games last year. The Fever season opener last Friday against the Sky drew 2.7 million viewers on ABC, the most-watched WNBA game ever on ESPN platforms, and more than any Pacers regular season game this year. The Pacers' playoff viewership is still higher at 3.59 million viewers through its first 7 playoff games on ESPN and TNT, while the Fever averaged 2.2 million viewers for 2 playoff games last year on ABC and ESPN. The difference is in the global brand. The Pacers are known internationally because of the NBA's decades-old presence, while Clark has only recently helped the Fever become the WNBA's most recognizable name worldwide. According to PSNE, fans from 44 countries and all 50 states traveled to Indiana to watch the Fever last year, and more than half of the tickets purchased were from fans outside of Indiana. The Fever have also seen their social media engagement grow 55 times since 2022, 2 years before Clark was drafted, with a #1 team across all major U.S. sports in Facebook video views in 2024, and on Monday, became the first WNBA team to pass 1 million followers on its social media website. The Fever lucked into Caitlin Clark at the top of the 2024 WNBA draft, but PSNE and owner Herb Simon have long been preparing and investing in women's basketball. Simon didn't sell the team, and he was even part of a key $75 million capital investment the WNBA raised in 2022. Simon and PSNE announced a $78 million state-of-the-art practice facility for the Fever in January that will be ready by 2027. Not only is the team's business booming, but the Fever are expected to compete for a championship for the first time since they made the 2015 finals. The Fever added veterans like DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard in the offseason to a young core featuring Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell. Simon didn't sell the team, and he was even part of a key $75 million capital investment the WNBA raised in 2022. Simon and PSNE announced a $78 million state-of-the-art practice facility for the Fever in January that will be ready by 2027. Not only is the team's business booming, but the Fever are expected to compete for a championship for the first time since they made the 2015 finals. The Fever added veterans like Dewana Bonner and Natasha Howard in the offseason to a young core featuring Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell. Simon took a slightly different approach with building the Pacers, a team he's owned since 1983. As NBA franchises have resorted to tanking or deliberately losing to have better draft positioning, the Pacers have built from the middle. Since 1990, the Pacers have won 30 or more games in every season, but won and never had a top 5 draft pick. They didn't even have a top 10 pick until they selected Benedict Mathurin number 6 in 2022. Indiana found its draft gems in the middle of the first round. Reggie Miller at number 11 in 1988. Paul George at number 10 in 2010. For its current roster, the Pacers acquired their 2 best players, Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam, via trade, and both committed to long-term deals soon after they joined the team. The strategy has not led the Pacers to an NBA championship. The franchise has 3 ABA titles, but they are one of the most consistent teams in the league, making 10 Eastern Conference Finals since 1990, 27.8% rate, and the NBA Finals in 2000. Pacers hysteria is as high as it's been in more than a decade. When you combine Pacers and Fever, we're going to have basically an Indiana basketball game every day for 10-plus days. Agnes told FOS ahead of the Fever season opener on May 17th. As popular as the Fever have become, it's unlikely they can immediately bridge the valuation gap with the Pacers. The WNBA is about a third of the age of the NBA and has only recently found its footing as a league. The Pacers were valued at $3.6 billion by Forbes last year, while reports indicate the next WNBA expansion team is expected to be valued at around $200 million to $250 million, though the Liberty recently raised capital that valued the team at $450 million, according to The Athletic. Much of a pro sports league's revenue comes from media rights deals. The NBA owns a large portion of the WNBA, and their media deals are tied together. The NBA's 11-year, $77 billion deal kicks in next year, and the WNBA will receive about $2.2 billion, good for about $200 million per year. The WNBA has the opportunity to bring it to about $3 billion in total with other partners, but the gap between the two leagues is still stark. Nonetheless, Clark and the Fever have shown that a WNBA team can, at the very least, be measured alongside its NBA counterpart, a notion completely unheard of just 2 years ago.